individual have to have self-value, self-respect,
And self-love.
if you respect yourself, you know the standard. Hitting the spouse, hitting the other spouse, it's not acceptable. So there have to be boundaries, and these boundaries are being overstepped. So communication is the key. You always have to communicate with each other when when issues start arising.
And I think
always
counseling
good to talk about it. Yes,
works
because sometimes, as I was saying about the factors, there are several factors, but the factors are not the causes. The cause of domestic violence is when somebody has made the choice that this is what I'm going to do. But the factors, there are remedy to factors. If it's to do with financial, the biggest in a household is financial pressure.
Yes.
If it's to do with financial pressure, it's best for two of you to sit down and talk about it. Talk about the incomes, talk about the outgoings. How much is coming into there? What are you spending it on? Is there somewhere where you can cut down to reduce the bill?
For your responsibility.
But if it's to do with work stress too, because people bring
Pressure.
their work pressure home. After a meal, after you've welcomed the man or even the woman, if they go out to work, it's always good after mealtime or during mealtime. Ask about
There's
your
also
day.
something that we're forgetting. There's also something that we're forgetting.
How has your day been?
Yeah, I understand.
If it's the children, if it's the members of the family, young children too, a child should be able to approach the mother or the father
To talk to
them about what's happened to them in school. As a parent too, or as a guardian, or as a caregiver, you should be able to interact with the young person too. How has your day been?
There's also something that we're always forgetting. Well, sometimes, we're always focused, of course, women are the majority, but we forget that also in some homes too, men are the victims of domestic violence.
It goes both ways. But it's just that the percentage is more higher in women than men. But it does happen. So we're talking about
when we're seeing it's always women that are sexually abused or raped. You have cases where even younger boys who are abused
and being raped.
Exactly.
So what we're saying here is whatever is going on within the household, as a family, you should be able to approach one another. If the child cannot approach the dad, at least to approach the mother. If there are relative living, grandparents are very good at this. It depends on the composition of the household. But if it's just a unit of a mother, father, and the child, then there have to be communication.
And there is always this confusion of why the victim stays in that relationship or that household and they don't go.
It's a very complex thing. As I say, the factors can be dealt with. So, therefore, if the pressure is too much for the woman, who have they spoken to? Because as spouses, if you cannot resolve whatever is going on between you, there should be somebody you can talk to. A member of your family first, or the imam, there have to be, but the person, you have to be careful that the person you are going to seek advice from is somebody that have your welfare, your best interest.
And sometimes it's just societal scrutiny. Sometimes we're scared if you go out.
It's not going to be somebody that is going to advise you wrongly. So there are steps that can be taken.
And that's why Morgan was saying there is reason behind that. There are like two reasons. One of it is that the victim herself or himself will be asking, why am I still there? And the reason behind that is because if, for example, this abuser now has shared a secret with you, you feel like you're a very strong person, so now you're the superhero to help them, get out of maybe something that they have experienced in their childhood or in the past. And then the other question is, maybe people outside will be like, it's her fault. Why is she still there? Why is she staying? And she was saying, sometimes or most times, if maybe you hear a murder case of violence, is because when the person now tries to do something or tries to leave, they threaten them that they're going to kill them if they leave. And so they cannot go, or they're going to take the custody of the children, or they're going to take away their wealth, and then they become helpless.
These are extreme cases. But before you get to that stage, there are steps to be taken to address what the factors are.
Okay.
As we were going through the list, it's to do with work pressure. When they talk her home, have they spoken to their manager?
It starts somewhere,
at work, their human resources department. There are solutions to the factors. So if it's to do with finance, we've already spoken about that. If it's to do with insecurity, we do feel insecure. Some people feel more insecure than the other. What is causing you insecurity? Are you engaged with your time? Are you making use of the time? Are you a lonely person? Are you interacting? Even we forget our prayers here. We forget our prayers as Muslims. Let's talk to our Creator. Take your problems to Allah, because He is the all-hearer, is the all-seeing, and is the all-hearer. So whatever our problems are, we should put it in prayers. But in saying that prayer alone it's not enough. You have to take practical steps. So the practical steps should be taken to address what the factors are. So it might be through counseling. A lot of people carry anger. Anger from previous experiences. Maybe they've been abused in the past,
childhood trauma,
or maybe that's the way their parents have to.
And then sometimes those things have a way of going back. That's why your children need to
that they have observed, maybe from home too. They have observed, that one spouse is being aggressive.
Sorry to cut you short, but personally, things are moving. You understand? It's things are changing. Personally, as a person, if I am in an abusive marriage, and then in these present times, and that you can speak out, there's freedom of speech, and then my religion has not put me under subjugation, that there is liberation for me, I personally would walk away. Forget societal scrutiny, forget the stigma that they're going to put for me, because I know who I am, and I am strong, I am brave, I know that I have not strayed from my socio-cultural prejudice, my religious morals. So sometimes some of this talking does not really work, because those times and this time is not the same, because there's a time even our God's prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam even said it, even Allah also said it, that okay, there will be time that things would go transformed with technology, that zamani, like dunya, like there are times that all these things would go, so you cannot even say you're causing technology, because there are times that even this technology will promote your religion, will even promote you. Look at the transformation technology has brought and all that. So sometimes we change with time.
Did you say religion subjugated you?
No, my religion has not subjugated me.
So
I've been knowing my rights and all those things.
If your religion has not subjugated you, you know as a person, you value yourself. You value your dignity. You value your own self-respect. And you are responsible for number one, which is yourself. So if anyone is going through all this, I will continue to emphasize that you deal with the factors.
Exactly.
Each issues separately. Seek help. Seek guidance. Talk to your trusted people, those that you know can support you. Talk to them. There is always a way. There is no problem without any solution. And there is no problem that our Creator cannot solve. So people have to be proactive, with these issues. Seek help, be prayerful, communication, And you don't have to suffer in silence. Marriage is not to be endured, it's to be enjoyed. Yes, human beings change. Things happen. We are being tested. The economy, the environment, we are constantly under pressure. It's not something new. It started from the beginning of creation that we have to go through all these stresses. So it's how do you manage these stresses? That is what we should focus on. But I say to the woman or to the man out there, if you are suffering from domestic violence, seek help, talk about it, deal about the factors that are causing. Because the cause of domestic violence is a personal choice.
That's true.
It's a personal choice. So we all have responsibility to each other, regardless of whether you are home, whether you are at work, whether in your community. We all have personal responsibility to each other, to keep ourselves safe, to support each other, to assist each other in the best way that we can. As Muslim, Asana, there's a lot of reward for helping your neighbor, for helping your family, for people putting smile on your family, you know, all those around you. And Ramadan is here. When is the best time to do all these things? This is time of Ramadan, time of joy, time for us to reclaim all that has been lost.
Dear viewers, it's still the show Deen and Dunya. So now I'm going to ask our guests, can you give us just one advice for people that are going through domestic violence or things like that?
Don't keep quiet.
Okay.
Talk about it. Seek help from those that are around you, those that trust. Counseling, officially or through the imams, through your parents, through your colleagues, through work, HR. Deal with the factors. Talk about the factors that are causing the cause. No, the factors that triggers. Know what the triggers are of why people are hungry. So when you are able to identify what the factors are, as I say, there's solution to every problem. Then seek the right guidance, the right help, and then put everything in prayer, because there is nothing that prayer is the sword of Muslims. So we should not forget that. It's important. But prayer is not enough. Make sure you are proactive. Seek help. Don't keep quiet about it. And I'm sure the issue
will be solved, inshallah. So you've heard the advice from our guests. I'd like to tell you that if you're able to break out of this issue, know that you shouldn't go back to your shell because you've outgrown that shell. And you should know that actually abuse or violence thrive with silence. So you need to break that silence. So seek help, and then you just need to shine a spotlight on your problem, and inshallah it's going to be solved.
And let's remember that abusive behaviors towards one another contradicts the objective of Islamic jurisprudence. And then specifically the preservation of life and reason, you know, the righteousness and everything. So please, let's promote kindness towards each other. Let's promote tranquility. Let's promote all the things that makes us human beings.
And finally, a good Muslim is the person that secure the property of their neighbor.
True.
So
Thank you very much.
Love yourself and love those that are around you. There is goodness in love. There's goodness in kindness, and we will all be rewarded.
Dear viewers, this is the show Deen and Dunya, and thank you very much to our guest. Jazakumullahu khair. And look out for more episodes where we discuss about issues and find solutions, inshallah. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.